All right, number 2. So this parabola, I see that my first term, my a term, is negative, so it's going to be a unhappy face parabola. And then from there, let's list our a, b, and c. So I have a equals -1, b equals -2, and c equals 3. Okay, so now I'm going to plug those numbers into my axis of symmetry and find our axis of symmetry first. So my b is already negative. I see a -2. So I'm actually gonna go for it and put 2 negatives here. I'm gonna put negative from the formula and then negative from the 2. So -2 over 2 times -1, which is my a. Simplify that. Negative times a negative is a positive, so I get +2. And 2 times -1 is -2. 2 divided by -2 is -1 again. So my axis of symmetry here is -1. I'm gonna go over to my graph and graph a dashed line through -1, a vertical dashed line through -1. Okay, so then to find the vertex, we're gonna take our function and plug in our axis of symmetry. So I get y equals negative, instead of x, I'm gonna write -1 in there soon, -2 times -1 plus 3. Now let's put the -1s in there. And then let's solve or simplify using order of operations. So I get y equals negative, and -1 times -1 is a +1, so I get 1 -2 times -1 gives me +2 plus 3. So then this ends up giving me y equals -1 plus 2 plus 3. -1 plus 2 gives me 1. So y equals 1 plus 3, which is 4. So my vertex, I'll keep it in black. My vertex is at -1, 4. All right, so then let's plot that. -1, +4. That's right here. Remember, your vertex should always fall on your axis of symmetry. Okay, so then my y-intercept, remember it is 0, your c term. So in this case, my c term is 3. So my y-intercept is going to be 0, 3. So let's go over here, plot a point at 0, 3. Now remember, 2 ways to find your symmetric point. Your symmetric point, you can use your axis of symmetry and say, hey, this is 1 unit away from the axis of symmetry, so I should go 1 unit to the left, and it should be at -2, 3. You can do it that way. Or you can say, hey, I know the symmetric point is 2 times my axis of symmetry, and my axis of symmetry was -1, my c term, which was 3. 2 times -1 gives me -2, so I get -2, 3, and that's that point right there. And then I'm going to connect my points, and I'm going to have an unhappy parabola just like I predicted. And then let's come over here and list our information. So my domain, always all real numbers. My range is where my first point on my y-axis. It's your vertex. So the highest point is 4. So y, and remember it's going down, so y is less than or equal to 4. And then number of solutions, it touches the x-axis 2 times, so it has 2 solutions, and I'm going to have a solution, so it touches the x-axis at -3 and at +1. So I have x equals -3 and x equals +1. Now it's your turn to try it.